Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Zero Dark Nerdy, the world's most notorious pop culture podcast.
The filthiest of the filthy!
This is your boy Brian, a.k.a. El Nino, and today I am joined with...
It's your boy, Jordan Brown, a.k.a. Doodoo Brown 3879, a.k.a. Mr. Easy Fix, apparently, a.k.a. USDA Fresh Prime Toasty.
And back in studio with us after a very long delay. You know, life, it gets in front of us, kids, the whole 9 yards. But who's back? Who's back with us today?
Nicole, a.k.a. Il Mama.
Another air horn there. And today we're going to be covering Mortal Kombat, the movie.
Mortal Kombat! You know the original guy who got paid to say Mortal Kombat for the first time, that yell, he had no idea what he was getting into. They were just like, hey, you want to come over here and scream these words? And
Right.
they paid him to do it.
Oh, I bet.
That's the whole, he was like, I had no idea what it was even for, a video game. I had no idea.
He made
What
a
if he
pretty
gets
penny off that.
royalties?
Oh, he's got to.
Probably not. He was probably just like, I'll take the $60.
Oh, yeah,
sir.
it depends on the contract that he signed. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat, just released this past Friday. Of course, as always, there are going to be spoilers ahead. So for those of you new to the Zero Dark Nerdy journey, our episodes are very, very spoiler heavy. So if you've not seen Mortal Kombat yet, or if you don't care to see it and just want to hear us talk about it, you're in the right spot. If you do want to see it, highly suggest you watch it first and then come back and listen to this episode.
Get the fuck out of here.
Big shout out to Bet Online. Bet Online, the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your sports action. Bet Online has you covered for all the news, scores, and odds. It's the best way to place your bets, and it's free to sign up. So we are going to go ahead and start things off with the one and only Il Mama.
Well, Mama gets to start. Okay. So, overall thoughts about the movie. So I'm not really a story mode type girl. So when I started watching that, I was like, who the fuck is that? No, who's that? Who is that? You know, there were little things that kind of gave you signs of who it was and everything kind of developed. But for the most part, like I was a little fucking lost.
Yeah.
There were certain key characters that you knew who they were, you know, with these small little tidbits of information. But for the most part, I didn't really know what I was watching. So, but, you know, as you know, whoever has watched it knows that it starts out with Scorpion and Sub-Zero's backstory. You know, Scorpion being Hanzo Hasashi, and who was played by Yuko Sandala, who was in Endgame, I think.
He was in Endgame. He's the one that Ronin at the time took care of the Yakuza clan.
Yes, the Yakuza clan. And then Bihan, who is later Sub-Zero. Kind of a development of, you know, how he becomes Scorpion and how Bihan becomes Sub-Zero. So that part of the movie I really enjoyed. You know, I liked seeing that part of it. But as for, you know, the rest and the other characters, the story kind of happens so quickly. Not to say I wouldn't watch the second or third one, or if there are any. But it kind of was very similar to the original, where it just kind of all happened real fast. Mm-hmm. And then these key characters that you see, they get offed real quick. Yeah. And it's kind of like, oh, shit, damn it. By the end of the movie, you're like, well, that was a little anticlimactic. And, you know, not to get too much into it, but you mean when Cole finally, you know, realized what his... Arcana,
which was fucking dumb as shit.
The Arcana thing I didn't really get. The tattoo thing I didn't really get.
They didn't
explain any of that.
Plot devices. That's literally it.
It was literally like dropping stuff in, and you're like, okay, I'll go with it.
Sure,
yeah, why not?
Suspend your disbelief for just a minute.
Yeah. And then the fact that characters kind of just dropped in front of people's laps, and
you mean like Liu Kang literally walking over a crest mountain or like a sand dune
like
and being
Goku,
being
motherfucker.
Yeah, that dude was so fucking buff. Like, holy shit, his
Such a
physique,
tiny
I wanted
little
to
guy.
like.
I did.
Yeah, I was gonna
too.
say for like $150 though, it's
Dude,
not
he
hard to
was
be that
so-
shredded.
Dude,
Small.
one of his arms weighed more than like one of my arms. That was a stupid
But
sentence.
you want to know what? His face looked like he was a member of BTS.
True.
Big time suspects. What is BTS?
BTS is like a
It's
Korean,
a Korean boy band.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I did not know
super
that.
super like feminine but beautiful face.
Oh, he was pretty dude.
yeah, he was very pretty.
I'd
dude.
kiss him. Again.
He was gorgeous, but he was like not. He was
OG
not
Lu-
what you expected.
OG Liu Kang still
Kang.
way much better.
Absolutely.
Still sexier than he was.
Absolutely, absolutely.
He just doesn't have as many veins.
But the fact that he just kind of like,
He was just there. They were like,
was
he was
just
like, I
there.
finally found somebody.
you know, actually, and there was
Okay.
a lot of Easter eggs in the movie.
Yes.
And
Tell
one
me.
of them, while he was, Kano was looking for the Temple of Light. Was that what it's? He couldn't. His GPS wouldn't work. And you know how in the first one, Sonya Blade looks at her watch and it's kind of just spinning. So
yeah.
kind of like a connection there that it's
Right.
not a place that you can find.
I liked the names they dropped in. Like they sprinkled in like, oh, what was the master fighter that that what's the guy, the one that Cole beat? His name was like
Was
Booney,
Eddie.
Boone, like Eddie Tobias or something like that. Eddie.
Which was it was Eddie Tobias.
Yeah,
Who was,
which is
the
Ed Boon and John Tobias.
Right. But you want to know something even cooler? Noob Saibot spelled backward is
John
Boone
Tobias.
Tobias. Tobias Boone.
Yes.
So it's both of the creators.
You didn't know that,
No.
dude?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Wow, I missed that.
Both
See,
of the
we're dropping
creators.
knowledge out here,
We are dropping knowledge.
even on our own staff.
So the two creators of Mortal Kombat was Ed Boon and John Tobias. So their names kind of pop up in the movies and the characters.
Right.
Yeah, I noticed that too. He was
Speaking of-
supposed to be the guy that Cole defeated or whatever, took his belt.
Yeah, they dropped the name.
Dropped it.
They
it
dropped
was
the
just
name.
like one of those things that just fell in your
Speaking
lap.
speaking of Noob Saibot,
Yes, speaking of news,
Sub-Zero is gonna become Bihan becomes Noob Saibot
I believe so.
in the next.
I
couple.
believe so.
Well, you
because
saw,
Yeah, he's not
his
done.
costume became the black
Darker.
Yeah, and
You
then
could
he
tell
got
it was
fucking
darker.
torched. Like
Yeah.
now he's not actually black, but he's
Isn't
still
Noob
Asian.
Saibot like the
I'm sorry.
wraith of
Yeah.
Noob Saibot's the wraith of
Right.
Sub-Zero. So yeah, he's definitely gonna come back.
He
I
goes-
think
he-
Kano might too.
Kano come back?
I think
they're all
so.
gonna come back. You know, like continue. I bet you it'll be like continue or something like that in the next one. I guarantee it.
That would be pretty cool.
Guarantee
That
it.
would be pretty cool.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh
Were-
no,
were you
no.
done?
Go ahead. I mean, we can.
I liked the movie. However, there were so many like I rolled so many times.
More than normal.
I'll tell you what. I rolled when Reptile was an actual fucking reptile.
He was way too reptilian.
yeah, dude. Like, come on, he's a fucking
he's a ninja.
Yeah.
A green one.
A green one.
Secret character in the first Mortal Kombat, for
Toasty.
Christ's sake.
Yeah.
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 I was actually disappointed when they didn't do the toasty with the whole uppercut
Well,
thing. They kept saying the clean.
I think they have to keep some things. This movie was total fan service, and I fucking loved
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That's
I
all.
fucking
100%.
loved it. However, even down to the point where they're training in the sand pit or whatever, and he keeps sweeping him. He keeps sweeping his
I
leg.
loved that.
I was like, oh my god, I know so many fucking cocksuckers that would do that in the
would do that
arcade, and I'd be like,
And
really,
even
really? Is
when,
that the only move you
who
fucking
was it?
know?
Was it Kano that was like
He
jumping
tried
up and
jumping.
down? And it was just like, oh my God. I'm like,
Yes.
I'm like playing the game
Got
right
it.
now.
Yep. It was complete fan service, and I love that. However, yeah, Reptile was a little bitch. I thought they picked, except for two fatalities, I thought they picked the dumbest fatalities they could have made these characters do in the first remake of this movie. And let's face it, Kung Lao, when he split that
I was
bitch in
about to say,
half,
that was my favorite
That was the
one.
best. That was the best moment in the movie.
Yes. Hands down.
Hands down. Was it Goro or was it Kintaro? I think he said Kintaro when he was like, Kintaro, I love that one of the blood of Shao Kahn is here to help me. But because he definitely didn't say Goro.
Yeah, no, he didn't say Goro. You're right. He was the
He
prince
did-
of something.
But he
said.
didn't have the fucking tiger strikes. Stripes. Tiger strikes. Tiger. That's Street Fighter. I'm sorry. I rolled at Goro a lot, or Kintaro, whatever the fuck, that fight scene. I rolled at Cole having armor on.
He
That
looked
was
like
fucking
sweater. It
dummy.
looked like a sweater, right?
Yeah, that
Like
was
he
fucking
had a little
dumb.
cool cardigan.
I rolled real hard at Rico, the out of the blue guy with the fucking hammer. You have over 100 fucking characters. And honestly, Rico was a character in the game, but he looked nothing like this guy. No, they were like, oh yeah, call him that one, I guess. Then that shit made me fucking mad. The fight scenes were very lackluster to me.
I agree 1,000%.
Except for Scorpion and Sub-Zero, because they're actual martial artists.
Yeah.
All of them were just like, and the what's her name? The fucking flying bitch. The dragon lady. The one that flew.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I forgot her name. But anyway, that was fucking lame as fuck. She was like flying around and he was just standing there, and then he fucking split that bitch in half.
Yes, he did.
Flawless.
Flawless.
Yeah, they had all these cool characters. Cabal was so fucking dope.
Yeah.
But they all of a sudden, he's dead.
That's what I mean. Like, he died way too quick.
Yeah, just
all
like-
of them. There was no
Yeah.
build up. There was no
Yeah.
real battle. It was
Yeah.
just like,
Jack slapping his hands on Homeboy was fun.
Yeah.
But they were at the pit. I wanted him to knock him off the pit and go hit the fucking ground.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me? You were at the pit and
What
you
a
didn't
waste.
utilize that fucking stage,
What a
the
waste.
very first stage fatality that anyone has ever done ever.
Yeah.
You didn't utilize that shit? Get the fuck out of here. Fan service, my dick. But
I was a little disappointed with Jack's Arcana.
Yeah.
Like, how is that even an Arcana?
it's the whole premise.
The Arcana
of,
premise was
was
really dumb.
whack. So whack. They should have like. Why did they not? I mean, I get that. Oh yeah, it's people don't just walk around with fucking fireball powers, and that's kind of an okay way to be like, oh well, you gotta once you're
The tattoo thing.
once the tattoo
But
comes on.
Sonya kills fucking Kano, and then she comes out, pow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't even really show her fucking do
Right.
it.
Right.
Like, cool. I think that
Killed
was
him with a gnome.
yeah, yeah. That I mean, that was cool. I was okay with
That's
that.
right.
Gnomey in the eyeball.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
okay
a good
with that.
throwback to earlier in the movie with
Yeah.
the gnomes. But
He
yeah,
spit on it,
besides
right?
that, I was like, oh yeah, he that was a hell of a loogie too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Ended up in his eye.
That was an Australian loogie, Mike.
The fight scene between Scorpion and Sub-Zero at the end was cool. I thought that why didn't he just take the mask off and it's a skull now and just like, I mean, I get it became a skull and shit, like the original game and whatnot, but I thought it was lame. I thought that was lame. I thought Liu Kang's fucking dragon finisher was fucking lame as hell. They could have made that so much cooler. If he's just a fire dragon, that's never been a thing. He's an actual fucking dragon.
Yeah.
Was never a fire dragon.
Was it?
Fucking fight me on that. Come on now. It was never a fire dragon. It never was. I literally watched two. It's on YouTube. It's every Mortal Kombat fatality ever, and it's an hour and 56 minutes long.
Oh god, I
That's
believe it.
dedication, man.
Yep. And I loved it. I was sitting there. I was sitting there the whole time just watching them. Like in the original game, like it's so funny because you can knock someone's head off. You can eat their head. They turn into a fucking pile of bone and muck, and their scream is still like, oh, and their head is like gone. Like there's no head there at all. It's just like,
They're just skull and bones.
and everyone
still
has
screaming.
this. Everyone has the same scream. It's so fucking funny. It is so fucking
They
funny.
saved a lot of money on the
Yeah.
vocals.
They did. They did. They
Well,
don't.
that was one of the first games too. It was on the Video Games That Made Us or something like that on Netflix.
Okay.
And it was one of the final episodes where they they filmed these
dudes,
actors
yeah.
playing these characters and doing all that stuff, which I thought was incredibly unique. But I don't know if you were still going.
I don't think I am.
But I again, same thing. I agree with Jordan 100% as well as Nicole too. Like it's a popcorn flick. Like we all know we're going into it. There's going to be plot holes. There's going to be shit like this. I mean, it's not going to win an Academy Award for Best Picture. Let's just be
It's
real.
not going to
here.
win anything.
Yeah, and if anything, visual effects. But it's a storyline, something to be desired. Yeah. Again, I thought if it's not for Sub-Zero and Scorpion, I think
Fact.
the whole thing just is trash.
Falls.
If they for some, I know that they weren't going to leave him out of the movie, but the beginning storyline as well as end storyline and like the blood from Scorpion going down to Cole Young, which is still just a waste.
Yep.
Just like you said, the whole like he found his
Arcana.
Arcana, and it's just a fucking
sheet,
sweater
a fucking
vest,
shield.
that, like a
body
that
armor.
absorbs like pain or whatever the hell.
Like, like Black Panther.
Like Black
Yeah,
Panther.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was-
He's Asian Panther.
Yeah, he is Asian man.
There was just
Yellow
Half
Panther.
Asian?
That's a
Half
thing.
not
Asian?
right.
And
No.
again, the fight scenes were there was a lot to be desired, and to be honest with you, I thought there was a lot more to be desired from Raiden and Shang Tsung as well.
Yeah, both of them were just backseat characters.
Just real
Even though,
backseat.
you know,
they're the main guys.
AKA the god of fucking thunder
Right.
was just sitting there like,
Yeah.
you can't come in here. And Shang Tsung's like, yeah, I can.
Right.
And Raiden's like, dang.
Dang it, you did
I guess I
it.
got to put a force field out.
Fuck. Even then, he was just like, hey, Kano, handle that. And Raiden's like, no, stop, don't.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, that's the
Fucking
thing.
foolish.
My highlights are Kano. Cabal, I thought was fucking dope.
Dude,
as
that
shit.
cosplay is fucking fantastic.
Lord. And just the way he walks into, he's like, did you meet a guy down there?
Yeah.
You fucking asshole. I was like,
You're gonna fucking love him.
Yeah. It was just so good. And, you know, I mean, the Jack story, I liked him as a character, but yeah, him finding his Arcana or whatever the fuck.
You really can't say it, can you?
No, yeah, I can't. It was
Doesn't seem
sad.
right. The
so
R does
stupid.
not seem right.
Arcana
Yeah, I was just like,
is dumb.
you know, and that's the
And
thing.
his
It's a popcorn
Arcana,
movie.
his Arcana is like growing machines out of his arms.
Right.
Like, what if he still had his arms?
Yeah.
What would it have been?
Right.
That's what I was
Like-
wondering.
like, if he still had
how could
arms,
his
They gave him
Arcana
C-3PO
know?
arms.
Yeah.
And then they ended up becoming just Jack.
That was a cool scene actually when Sub-Zero fucking broke his arms
Oh,
off.
yeah.
That was fucking
Oh my
dope.
God, yeah.
That was really
You
fucking
could see
cool.
the blood coming out of the
Yeah.
ice.
Sub-Zero was the best part of that movie.
Yeah, he was. He was a badass. I don't
It-
know. I think Kano was his comedic relief was
I thought-
probably one of my favorite parts.
I thought
I
it was
agree.
I thought it was way too much at times.
I did not.
Okay, well, here we are.
I disagree with you.
We're both still alive and thriving. But the
Maybe
funny,
because I was a little under the influence. I don't know.
the funniest Kano moment was when Liu Kang, when they first were meeting, and he comes up and touches his shoulder, and Kano's like, "What the fuck?" Like just very subtly like that. And I loved that.
I liked it when they were at the temple and he
At the temple.
fuck your face.
You were just okay.
I was waiting to play
I got
that
you.
No, so when they were at the temple
You said it fine. I'm just fucking with you.
and Sonya Blade was going to go down to the pit to fight, and
Kung Lao.
Kung Lao was like, no, only the chosen ones.
Yeah.
And Kano's like, fucking whoops.
He did have
was
some
good.
really good zingers.
He
in
did.
there.
He did. His one-liners were
But
amazing.
I'm telling you, it was just a little bit too much at times.
It was. I mean, and you know, it's not a flawless movie.
Oh, I like when you sitting on that one, big boy.
I actually just thought of that one.
Nice.
But I mean, it was definitely entertaining at times. I mean, could it have been better? Yeah. I really didn't think that they utilized, especially just like we talked about, Raiden and Shang Tsung. I thought were just two people that should have been integral to the storyline.
Right.
Were just kind of like in the back burner. I mean, and there wasn't really truly a combat. It was like, all right, we're going to fight them in their own territory. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
all right, if you beat this person, then you get to move on to the next one.
the build-up-
that whole thing.
Yeah, it wasn't a fucking tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
It was not. The build up of them finding their Arcana really overshadowed the tournament aspect, which was fucking lame. It was so damn lame. It really was just like Shang Tsung being like, "Hey, I got some people. I kind of want to beat your ass." And Raiden's like, "Oh, I found these guys today." Like,
and they suck, by the way. So
yeah,
go ahead and take care of them.
They don't even have Arcana. And the whole audience is just like, what is happening? Kano gets his Arcana by wanting a fucking chicken wing or whatever the
Egg
fuck it
roll or
was, an
something.
egg roll.
Yeah.
He screams his laser beam out of his eye. That's what happened because he was hungry.
He does.
And Kung Lao was like, that's what I meant to do the whole time. Like, fuck. Like, oh my God.
That's how I got mine.
I literally sat there in the movie theater with my arms crossed, just like this better not be the way he gets it.
Sorry. So can you say that again? You went to the movie theater to see this?
I went to the fucking movie theater and had movie theater popcorn, sitting there with my parents. There were people screaming and shouting. My mom was one of them. I had to be like, shh, mom. But and then there was another dude that oh my God, I wish y'all could have heard it. There was another dude that was laughing at everything. At everything. When Kung Lao did his fucking dope ass fatality on the
God,
dude,
yeah.
and he said, "Flawless victory." The guy was like, "Ah!" like straight up like orgasm mode down in the
It's
fucking.
a fan movie. It really is.
Yeah, and they did very well. They did very well with it.
Sure.
They could have
You
done
like-
better. They did well for fan service. They could have made a better movie, but hey, here we are. I enjoyed it. I'll go see the next 6 that they make.
The 90s is coming back. So
It
I think it was
is.
very 90s style movie.
It is.
Now that they got the Arcana bullshit out of the way.
Right. Like,
Now they
let's
can make a-
actually get to, and that's what I'm hoping for. I guess a good segue for the next one is an actual tournament. And with that being said, of course, we told you earlier, spoilers ahead, there is a little teaser for Johnny Cage. So who do you two, like, who would you
Stop.
like to see play Johnny Cage? It's the first time I hit the mic. Like, if you had to choose who to play Johnny Cage, and
I wish
start
you
with
would've-
Jordan, and we'll go with Nicole.
Who would I want to play Johnny fucking Cage? I think, so first of all, it'd have to be a cocky movie star. He'd have to be ripped. He'd definitely 100% going to take the comedy front that was Kano. Now he's going to be the comic relief. Chris Rock.
Chris.
Oh man, I don't know, man. A lot of people.
Very good.
I don't know. I wish I would have known that this question was fucking coming, so I could have thought of
He
something.
only sent it in a text. It's good. It's cool.
He did send it in a text. Did you?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Nah, whatever.
Well, and then
Chris
Nicole's
Rock.
ready.
Well, yeah.
Chris Rock. That was a strong one.
Thank you.
That's a stretch.
Thank you.
I would have to say Chris Pratt. I think that he would be, and he has the capability to really get ripped. And he's got the cockiness. He's got probably a little martial art background. I think he could do it.
I know who I want.
All right,
want.
there we go.
Brad fucking Pitt, buddy.
Brad Pitt.
Ooh, the
Brad
pits.
fucking Pitt,
That all the
buddy.
pits.
He's a little bit old now, but Fight Club Brad Pitt would be fucking perfect.
Yes, it would. Yes, he would. Or like Scott Adkins.
I don't know who that is.
He's been in a lot of martial art movies. I don't know if he could play the Johnny Cage like persona. But
What about you? You're gonna say like Daniel Craig or something?
No.
Fascist.
Actually, I saw this on Instagram the other day,
Stop.
and it just made sense. It made sense. The Miz.
oh
From
god, no.
WWE.
No.
I'm
Actually,
sorry.
He's the only one I wouldn't.
perfect Johnny Cage, though.
I
He
wouldn't.
already has that persona. He's ripped. Tell me you cannot see him as Johnny Cage.
I hate that I
could
wouldn't mind it.
unfortunately see him.
I hate that I
See?
wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, we're not
He's
talking
just
like
so
Oscar
annoying.
award winners here
No.
for this role.
They're-
people.
And watch, I guarantee they're gonna get someone like some big name, but it's gonna be like some big name, MGK probably.
Oh God, please stop.
Watch.
Okay, first
Hold
of all-
on now.
first of
He
all,
was.
they have to be
Did
big.
you see what was that movie with where they ate the pill and that gave
Oh,
him
yeah.
superpowers? He was all right in that.
It's all right in that, but he was in the movie for fucking 2 minutes.
Okay, and now he's this big time role.
Yeah,
It's
but he
his-
actually
it's his
has
shot.
to be big and a movie star.
He's been getting ripped.
Is he a movie star?
Has he been getting ripped out?
he been,
I feel like he.
I mean,
was
he's
I
like
feel
still
like
a
he's
skinny
like really
little-
thin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's been working out. That's all.
Well, I'm glad you noticed.
I do.
I know he would really love is a ripped Will Ferrell. It's
I thought about saying that, and then I was like, I don't even feel like mentioning his bitch ass name.
But isn't
Well, let's just say if he was like CGI ripped, would he not be like
Shut
a
up.
fucking
Shut up.
perfect
No.
Johnny?
he's like
No.
massively tall though, and that is not Johnny
He would
Cage.
not. He would not be a good Johnny Cage in any aspect of any realm of any universe ever. He's not even good in any movies ever. So
All right. Okay. We already had that discussion, by the way. Make sure you check out is the Will Ferrell funny podcast that we did.
yeah, check that shit out. Tear that bitch down.
All right. So, in regards, now we're going to bring it back to the games here. Who are some of your favorite characters from the games? And this can be authentic characters. This can also be like IP characters, which for noobs out there, intellectual property. So this is anything from like Jason to fucking Rambo.
Who are your favorite characters to play as? I see.
Yeah, who are your favorite characters to play as? And they don't have to be authentic Mortal Kombat players. They can also be intellectual property players from the brand. And then, of course, favorite fatalities on top of that.
Okay. I never know if I can talk over that or not. I feel like I gotta let it play.
That's so good.
All right, so who's starting? Me. That's who.
Dude, okay.
So favorite characters right off the rip, Sub-Zero, straight up OG, the ninja suit, not like the Bihan character or they made one with like hair and a scar, and didn't like that guy, didn't like him at all. But Sub-Zero, first and foremost, very much favorite. Smoke was another favorite of mine. The not the ninja one, but the the robot one was one of my favorites. I liked playing as Spawn when he was a downloadable character. That was fun.
Yep, got him on Mortal Kombat 11.
Spawn's always one of my favorite characters, period. And I really, honestly, Reptile, I like the ninjas a lot. I liked them a lot. And the fact that they fucked him up in the movie makes me so goddamn mad.
Yeah, they fucked Reptile up.
They fucked him up.
How much would like it blow your mind if they ever did like a Wesley Snipes Blade character? I think that you would just stream that for like 2 weeks in a row. You take off work 2 weeks in a row
And just play as him. I'd probably come for 2 weeks in a row. Just like constantly. Just keep going. Yeah, I would be like, this is great. I get to play as him. My.
You
All right,
never know.
so besides those favorite characters, what are some of your fatalities that you've seen on Mortal Kombat?
Okay, so I really like the fatalities where I like anything where like the skin comes off. So like in Mortal Kombat 3, when Sindel screams at somebody and their skin just flies off, that was fucking cool. I really liked Cyrax's blow up the earth because like fuck everybody at that point. Like that's the ultimate fatality. Everyone dead now. Everyone is dead now, is how that sentence goes.
Yeah.
And Mortal Kombat 4 was a horrible game. However, it's like one of the first times you could play as Goro. And he has a fatality where he kicks their chest and only their chest flies backwards and their head and arms are sitting there spinning. It's pretty comical, but it's fucking hysterical. Because I've always wanted to kick someone's chest just off of their body. It's one of the things I want to do in my life.
I'm going to do Jordan mad.
I'll kick your goddamn chest out, dog, through your back. I'll kick your chest through your back, son. Yeah, OG's probably anything with Kung Lao is great.
Yeah.
Anything he does, especially in the new games, holy fuck, they're fucking gruesome. But I'd say in Mortal Kombat 1, when it's as simple as Sub-Zero grabbing your head or grabbing your neck or whatever the fuck and ripping your entire spinal cord out, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yep. I think that was like, especially at the time, probably one of the most graphic things in video game history.
Sure.
Was that move.
Sure.
Plain and simple. I mean, it was definitely at the time the most graphic game in history, but the fatalities alone definitely took it above board.
Isn't this the game that made the ESRB?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, I spent many a token there. Big shout out to Johnson City, New York, and our little arcade that we had. It was called Aladdin's Castle.
Fucking A, dude.
Yeah, man. A lot of tokens spent there. Il Mama, what you got?
Yo, Mama's favorites? I'll be honest. I really like the friendship finishers better than the face.
I love the Joker's friendship
I
finisher.
liked all of them. They were so cute. Just seeing such gruesome characters after a fight, even. And then
Right.
the little friendship finishers were humorous to me. Fatalities, though, I mean,
And characters that you dislike.
characters too. Oh, well, I liked playing the women ninjas, the badass bitches, Melina,
Katana Jade.
Katana Jade. Yeah, loved them. They're easy characters to play too. I feel like a lot of the men characters had a lot more complex combos. I'm a button masher, so
Nothing wrong with that.
Never easy for me to play any of them. But
As I've gotten older, I've realized, like, I remember buying one of the Mortal Kombats on the Xbox 360, and I was just like, oh my God, the button combinations are so fucking ridiculous compared to how they were back in the day.
you just watch like some of these people do these moves that just combo after combo, and I'm like, how do you have the patience for that? Because you have to time it all right.
Yeah.
They do it by frames. It's that complicated.
Gee.
They do it by like, oh yeah, like when you'll watch them train. Like I watch some people train on the Mortal Kombat 11, and like their reaction speed is fucking absurd. Like it's superhuman, honestly. Because they'll play with they'll train with the characters on like the maximum difficulty, and the person will start to move, and they'll already
Have their
react
combo.
to it. Yeah.
Goodness.
Yep.
I was watching a guy online after I was watching you online on Facebook, and he played as, and this was whichever Mortal Kombat you can do the tag in. So he was using Kratos and Freddy Krueger, which is a hell of a combo.
Fuck yeah.
And I mean, was just slicing through people. I mean, he made it look so easy, and it shows at the end, and it was like setting hard. It's like, oh, goodness.
Okay, good for you.
You've won, bud.
What were your favorites?
So I got to go old school. I know that Raiden was a complete ripoff from really any of the three between lightning, thunder, and rain from Big Trouble in Little China. So he was just my favorite. The god of lightning, the master of the earth realm, I guess you could say. So that's my old school one. Kung Lao, once he came into the picture, I'm a huge fan of him. I really love playing with Cabal, just the speed. You do have to be incredibly kind of like precise with him because his attacks didn't register that much. On top of that, when Baraka came out, I don't know what it was. I just
Baraka was
really,
dope.
really enjoyed Baraka. And one that's not really a fan favorite, but I enjoy playing with him is, and hopefully I'm saying it right, is it Aaron Black?
Aaron Black.
Aaron Black.
The guy with the guns.
The guy with the guns. Yeah, Aaron Black with the pistols. As far as fatalities, just like we talked about earlier, I think they missed a huge spot in the movie to where when they're on the bridge and you can uppercut, someone to their death. That to me was always my favorite, no matter what. And then of course Scorpion with the fire, and then Sub-Zero. So I'm more obviously on the old school side of it. Kung Lao with, of course, his hat being the damn sawmill and sawing someone in half is fantastic. And there's been some really cool ones as far as like intellectual properties that I enjoy playing with. Jordan definitely touched on Spawn. Definitely a huge fan of playing with Spawn. I was a huge fan. I think it was on 11 where Jason Voorhees finally came out, and it was fun to play with him.
They had all the horror greats in there.
Yeah.
Chucky,
Well, yeah, and that's a good thing too
Voorhees.
because New Line Cinemas
Joker.
and Warner Brothers has that Joker. So they have the
Alien.
DC line.
Alien.
They have Alien.
Leatherface.
They have Rambo on there, Leatherface. So they have a lot of really
Schwarzenegger.
good. And they have the old school Schwarzenegger too, plus the old school and the new school RoboCop. I've yet to meet a person that watched the new RoboCop movie, but a lot of us
watched it.
remember. How was that? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, it was not good. It was not a good movie.
So yeah,
at
I know
all.
that you can have you can pick between the two, but that's what I love about the Mortal Kombat games is bringing in the new characters. The storyline thing is kind of cool if you just want to just kind of play for fun and power through and learn some moves. I do appreciate that aspect of it because same thing with like the Call of Duty games. I always love playing the storyline first and then getting into the multiplayer facet of it. So I don't mind the storylines of it, but I do enjoy seeing like, all right, well, what new characters are they going to bring in from this franchise or this movie? And hopefully they don't make it dumb. So,
Which they sometimes make it dumb.
They do.
Sometimes you make it dumb, and sometimes you don't make it dumb.
So final thoughts on our way out as far as just shout outs, any of that fun stuff.
Fucking fix Reptile. Bring him back in the next one. Fucking fix that dumb shit.
I would like to see a little more from Liu Kang too.
Yeah.
I want to be impressed, but not
Hell
so
yeah.
much.
I want to see more, obviously, from Raiden as well as Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
So that's my big thing, and then to actually see a tournament.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna
tournament
be the
style
big
movie.
thing.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, for sure. And
And,
they did have a lot of Easter eggs in there too. So I'm hoping that the characters that they kind of foreshadowed will be in there. Like Katana, her fan was in
Her fan was in the back. That was cool.
Yeah.
and I think
I just want to see a girl dressed up as that killing somebody.
Yeah.
That's fucking hot as shit to me.
Melina was a little disappointing.
Melina was disappointing.
Real disappointing.
Yeah, they didn't do that very well at all.
Yeah. And again, I mean, I was very surprised because for a movie that we're expecting not a great storyline, like give me some, decent fight scenes. We only had a couple decent fight
Is
scenes.
that goddamn Arcana bullshit?
Yeah, it
That
took
that
over,
whole
didn't it?
aspect just threw
Yeah.
me through that.
the training, all that
Yeah.
shit. It
Dumb.
just
Dumb.
was not
Dumb.
good. So
Dumb as
hopefully
dumb as fuck, stupid, horrible, dumb, stupid, lame, whack. Fuck Arcana.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. And that's the thing I think that pisses us fans off the most. I'm not saying it's a terrible movie. Like, yes, it's a popcorn flick. It's fan service.
It's dumb fun.
But they could have done more with the number one aspect of the damn video games, which
Yeah.
is the fighting.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that I have to ask is for the next one is do a tournament, show better fight sequences. Enough with this Arcana bullshit.
Yeah.
As far as people finding their why and their
Yeah.
la la la. It's like, let's just get to it and
Yeah.
see some gore,
They
see
have
some action.
They
and
have
let's
fucking
go.
powers.
Right.
They fucking have powers. Cool.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm hoping that, once everything's all said and done and they've got a good whatever group,
Yeah.
take it to Outworld and get a little bit of information about, or I say information, but I mean some explanation and kind of see what happened to the characters that were taken back to Outworld and,
And
what
even
they come back as.
go back to how kind of this shit started in the first place. I'd be cool with that. It
mean like
doesn't
a
have to be
prequel?
this whole not just so much a prequel, but yeah. At the same time, I mean, we saw a prequel obviously between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, but as far as how the tournament even started, shit like that. I mean, they could possibly do that maybe down the road, or even if they were to do let's just say a TV show. And either way, I'm getting far-fetched here.
Yeah.
Let's just get the fight scenes down better and then possibly do an actual tournament and not focus so much on this Arcana shit.
Yeah. Dope.
So that's it. On behalf of Il Mama and
Doo-Doo Brown 3879.
make sure you follow him on Twitch.
Twitch.tv/Doo-Doo Brown 3879.
And where can they find you at on Instagram?
Oh God, I don't know. At NIC_, you lost me.
You'll find her on our page either way. We're going to have these two back more often. It's glad the world's opening back up. So be safe out there. Be careful. Thank you so much for listening, whether here in the U.S. or across the world. Again, big shout out to our sponsor, Zibster. That is Zibster for making our fantastic website, which is popculturepodcast.com. And be sure to check us out on all social media formats at Zero Dark Nerdy, as well as like, subscribe, follow on all podcast formats. Thank you again for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Yeah! Victory!
And anger management?
Fuck anger management.
Thank you for listening to Believe. You can show support to your host by subscribing to the show and giving us a 5-star rating on your preferred platform. Check us out at Believe.com and search for BLEAV on YouTube.
Hey, it's Michelle Beadle. That's right, the Michelle Beadle. You're welcome. You love talking about sports. I love talking about sports. You know the only thing cooler than talking about sports? Sports! And right now, all your favorite sports are on Sirius XM. I'm talking every NFL game, every game from the NBA, NHL, MLB, every NASCAR race, golf major conference college sports, and all the top games in the WNBA. If it gets your heart pumping, it's on Sirius XM. To start your free trial of Sirius XM today, visit SiriusXM.com/believe.